This episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. You know that one friend who always finds the best travel deals, picks the right cards, and somehow ends up in first class for the price of coach? How do they do that? Well, Smart Travel is like that friend, but in podcast form. They cover all things travel finance, like which travel cards earn their keep and which are just heavy, shiny metal, and planning group trips that won't ruin your budget or your friendships. So travel smarter and spend less. That's the key with help from NerdWallet. Follow Smart Travel wherever you get your podcasts. Armchair Explorer is a part of the Voyescape podcast network. Check out all of their shows from around the world at voyescape.com. So out of all the countries in the world, which one do you think is the funniest, has the funniest people?
Ireland. They have their own word for it. It's a good call. Crack.
Ireland, that's a good shout. It's right up there. I was going to dig in a little bit and go even kind of finer tuned.
What do you got?
I think Glasgow has got to be right up there.
I think scary.
Oh, no.
Like,
I mean, that too.
If the question was, who would you not want to see in an alley in the middle of the night across from you?
Yeah.
But your brother-in-law alley.
A Glaswegian. And then the same question, like, who would you like to be really drunk in a pub with?
Also.
Glaswegian.
Is that complicated, yeah.
And then, like, hot on the heels of Glaswegians, I think, are Scousers, Liverpudlians.
I didn't know what a Scouser was.
A Scouser is like someone who lives in Liverpool, but it's like a proper Scouser.
So it's not an Englishman. That's a different way of saying it.
No, they are English.
They're English,
but they're like...
You include them.
Yeah, they're totally English, but...
But that's a strong but on that one.
No, and I think they would exclude themselves in this too. Like Liverpool has like a culture within itself, and it's like a beautiful culture, right? Like Beatles,
Liverpoolians,
Beatles. I'm sure there's a few other things. No, Beatles. No, that was it.
That's all I got. I mean, that's a big thing they've got.
And Rob Pope. This is what I'm leading to now.
Oh.
So basically, so this guy I interviewed this week. The episode's coming out in a couple of weeks. He's a Scouser.
And not a Pope.
And honestly, I got to just tell you this, mate, before we get going. So he's like telling the story of him running across America. We'll talk about it later anyway. But
the Forrest Gump thing.
The Forrest Gump thing. He's telling the story about running across America. Anyway, at one point, he has like really a bad injury. And he has to go to see like a physio and in Houston. And he's like, I'm not even joking, mate. The physio is called Whitney. Whitney Houston. Oh, that's so great. Dr. Whitney Houston. Oh, man. He tells the story way better than me, so you just have to check out the episode. Anyway, should we get going with this?
Let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome to Armchair Explorer and Pathways March. We're a little bit late because producer Jason has been a bit poorly. Cough.
I've had a cold, yep.
How you feeling, mate?
I'm doing as good as I possibly can do.
Yeah, I know. You're hanging in there. Take one for the team.
Expect a lot of coughs in the background on this one.
I hope you're familiar with these by now, but if not, these are the episodes where myself and Jason Paton, our lead producer here at Armchair Productions, kind of go through what's coming up. And we have some cool stuff coming up today as well. So one of the things I'm really looking forward to is Oregon. We're going to hear about that in a minute. We've got our brand new series of Hidden Trails of Oregon coming out.
Season 2.
Air Horns Charles! And also we have Rob Pope, I just spoke about a minute ago. That I'm so looking forward to putting that together. I haven't even started. We don't have a clip.
Yeah.
We have... Occasionally we do a best of Armchair Explorer. Who are we featuring this week?
Oh, it's our favorite presenter, Brian Thacker.
Mr. Brian Thacker. Before he was a star presenter himself, he featured on an Armchair Explorer episode going back 3 years now because he's an author as well. And let me just tell you, he's a hilarious writer. This is such a funny book. So we have lots and lots of good stuff coming up. So before we get going, though, I want to say I've got a really exciting month coming up. I feel like I'm bragging. I feel like I'm bragging.
No,
now.
I want to hear about it. Where are you going?
Well, darling, I've just come back from Aspen.
Oh, how peasantish of you.
Yeah, that was a tough gig. Someone has to do it. Yeah. Let me just tell you, there was a fancy hotel. The look on their faces when my muddy ass
you walked in,
my muddy ass old truck turned up for the valet. It's valet only. They were all prepared to kick me out.
Yeah.
And then it was like, can we help you, sir? Like, that kind of aggressive, can you bugger off?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm Aaron Millar. I'm staying here. Let me check. It was all that like kind of passive aggressive, let me check.
Have you spelled it correctly?
And then they had to come out and offer me a glass of champagne and take all my skis to the ski concierge.
And
then
warm your boots up for you.
Give you a shoulder massage.
Carry you on their shoulders up to the...
Super tough gig. Yeah. So anyway, enough of that. But yeah, later this month, I'm going to Costa Rica.
Just a tough life ahead of you.
It's awful.
What are you doing in Costa Rica?
Oh, wait, sorry, I've just dropped something. Oh, yes, that's my plane ticket to Costa Rica. No, I'm not saying it to like be like, oh, look at me, I have to go into Costa Rica. I'm saying it because Costa Rica is incredible, and it's like the famous saying in Costa Rica is pura vida, pure life. Ooh. And the whole spirit of Costa Rica is like built around this idea of pure life, like this, like living life to the full, but it's not even just that. It's like living life to the full in every single way, holistically, like adventure, life, everything. And it's just an incredible place. I've been once before. Have you been, Jason? You've never been.
No.
So the next trip that you do to Central America should be Costa Rica.
I'm down.
It's incredible. And I have one of the worst get lost blindly following your sat-nav stories ever.
Where'd you go?
Okay, so
where were you trying to go?
It's the second worst blind, because the worst ever, like I'm just following the phone's directions and I'm not going to use my brain at all story. And this is a famous one. There was a tourist in London who put in Buckingham Palace into...
Were they on the wrong side of the Thames?
into their sat-nav.
And they went through the gates.
And like 4 hours later, they ended up at like the Buckingham Palace pub.
Well, I mean,
and went in and asked for the Queen.
Considering what I was saying, like that's a pretty good result, honestly.
No, darling,
total
the
result.
Queen doesn't live here. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as that. But basically what happened is we rented a car and we're driving all around Costa Rica, and then I made the great call to, I've seen a kind of shortcut here. The sat nav is telling me we can go this way and cut an hour off our journey. And it's one of those, like, when do you give up on a conviction?
Never.
It's like almost like a philosophy. Exactly. That was my take on it until now. And then, so we're going, and it's a little bit weird. We turned off a dirt road. Oh, okay. Well, maybe this is just, maybe this is considered a main road. Don't want to be presumptive of what a main road is. And then it gets a little bit more dirt. And it's like, well, it's definitely not on a main road now, but like maybe if we go further.
It's tributary.
Now we're like fully in the mountains, and like I go past like a house, and people are just like, what the? As I go past, and bear in mind, I've got like 2 kids in the back that are like car seat age, right?
I'm honestly picturing you at this point out of the car with a machete hacking through the jungle going, I'm sure it's just past here.
We are not far off that. It's that version, but in a car. Anyway, and then like 2 or 3 hours in, we're sort of taking quite a few wrong turns. And the sat-nav is still telling me to go that way. I'm still trusting the sat-nav. And then we come to a river, like a full-on river that the sat-nav is telling me to go.
You got to ford that
across,
river.
At which point I know the sat-nav is lying to me. But anyway, out of nowhere comes these like 3 kids on like dirt bikes. And they just rescued us. Like they came over and they were like... we can see you're lost. I didn't speak great Spanish, and they didn't speak English, but somehow they rescued us. And we had been driving for like 3 hours. It took them 15 minutes to get out. Wow. So yeah, that's so we're hoping to improve.
Follow your GPS, people.
Always follow your GPS. That's the thing on that. So let's go to our first clip today, and that is going to be the legend himself, Mr. Brian Thacker.
I ended up buying a map from someone at the market, and the map of Togo. So at least, this is what Togo looks like. On the map had a picture of, they just had pictures of little symbols of a hotel or a petrol station and I had a picture that looked like a king's castle in Togoville, and I went, that looks interesting. So I went there, and there's no buses or taxis or anything there. Every car is like a taxi, really. You just hail down a car, and if they're going down, you get piled into a car with no doors. And I got dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't even know where I am to get to Togoville. And they dropped me off at a lake, and you could see to the other side, and it was all thick jungle. I had to walk through thick jungle to get to the lake, and there was just wooden pirogues, which are these little wooden boats where just the locals who hardly wearing anything, would stand up and they'd paddle you across. So they took me across to the other side, and the village itself was all red dirt, and all the buildings were made of red mud, and it was just families all dressed in brightly coloured clothes, all sitting out in the streets. It just had a fantastic atmosphere about the place as well. And it was there's like voodoo temples there. And it was just somewhere not many tourists would go to, I imagine. And the first person said, "You need to meet the king."
So background to this clip, there's a little bit of a deeper element to this actually, Jason, because the book that this kind of episode is based on is a book Brian wrote called Where's Wallis, which is not the funniest title of a book that Brian has
Brian
written.
wrote? No, I don't know if we could say the title of my favorite title.
Why didn't you say everyone's favorite title of his most famous book ever?
Is it No Sex on the Bus?
Rule number 4, no sex on the bus. It's like no one hears that title and it's like, what's rule number 1, 2, and 3? So yeah, that is a funny book of his. It's about his days guiding 18 to 30 bus trips where it was like super raucous.
Yeah.
But this is a book, he came up with this concept because he thought to himself, like, everywhere I go, I plan it out. I make sure I have like a great itinerary. I know where I'm staying. I know what I'm doing. But in doing that, am I spoiling something for myself?
Yeah.
Am I taking something away? So he randomly picked 3 places on a map that he'd never heard of, one of which is called Wallis, hence the title. Where's Wallis? Yeah, and he didn't know anything about it. And he left on a trip to go visit these 3 places with no phone, no internet,
guidebook.
no guidebook,
Yeah.
no nothing, knowing no one, not knowing where he's going to stay, not knowing if there's like a civil war there or anything like that, just turning up and seeing what happened. And it turned out to be actually, like, beyond just the hilarity of it, a really inspiring way to see a place in this day and age of over planning. So
Yeah.
check out that episode. Would you do that?
I'm inspired to by Brian to do it, honestly.
I've never done it to that level. And it made me think about
I can
myself.
tell you about the version of it that I'm definitely down to do.
All right.
Let me tell you about something I don't think you've heard about before.
Okay.
You're not a video gamer. Maybe Pong back when you were still old? back in the old days?
You want to know how old I am?
Please.
And I'm not that old, but like compared to like some people in this room, I can remember being 10 years old at school and being shown the computer room.
Well,
and they had Pong on as the example.
And you were blown away.
Yeah, we were like, whoa.
Well, I grew up with an Atari as well, although it was like a relic that was left in the attic by a previous person that lived in the house. It's kind of like a Steven Spielberg movie kind of thing. But something that developed long after Pong, the concept of open world video games, which is like a video game that has this built environment that you can explore for hours. It could be the equivalent of hundreds of miles wide, right? That's something you can kind of imagine in the back of your head. Something that's sprung up since these things were created is something that's kind of called digital tourism. The idea that you could sit in your armchair and explore things.
Oh, I like what you did.
without ever actually leaving your house. It was something that kind of really...
Wait.
Yeah.
The travel piece is happening within the video game.
Exactly. And it can be a real place or a imaginary version of a real place or just an entirely fantasy place entirely, but the effects of it, whether it's just the effects of, you actually getting to explore something, so the mental health benefits that you get from exploring, say, Costa Rica, people can experience a piece of that just sitting at home exploring a place in a video game. And I've got a couple really cool examples of this for you.
But
yeah,
isn't that just the worst video game ever?
No! Some of my favorites, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
You do it.
So let me give you a couple crazy examples of this. So the first one that I want to throw out is very relevant to you in particular. There's this company based in the UK that has developed a video game that is a zombie apocalypse game called Project Zomboid, and it's set in 1993. In a small
vintage
town.
year, by the way.
Yeah. Small year I was born.
You're born.
You're like, I remember 93 like it was yesterday.
Oh man, I had a great time in 93.
So, but it's funny because they rebuilt this entire region of Kentucky in the year 1993 in this video game. It is a 1-to-1 recreation of this 50-mile area. So you can literally walk as if it was Google Maps in this place that still exists to this day and has inspired now a whole movement of tourists that go to this just random small town Kentucky because it's exactly what they saw in this video game that they love.
So wait, they're exploring it in the video game,
Yeah.
and then they're being inspired to go into there in real life.
In real life, yeah. And this is not unique either. There's even bigger mainstream video games like the Assassin's Creed series, which is usually, set in like, Jerusalem in the Crusades, or say it's Renaissance Italy in the Renaissance period. But they recreate like all these famous structures so that you can go see what, say what the Colosseum looked like during those times and walk through them with hordes of, obviously
Zombies.
computer created creatures all around you. But it sounds real, it feels real, and it inspires people that would not normally want to go to these places to spend money, fly over and see. And sometimes these recreations in games are so accurate that people can walk through these places and they know them because they've walked through these streets
That's
already.
interesting.
It's like they're experts in the area already and they want to experience this thing in real life. It's a source of tourism
I've never heard of
that
that.
no one is really digging into.
I'm just gonna predict that you're gonna say the word boomer 3 or 4 times
I
in the
didn't.
next 2 minutes.
I managed to avoid
But
that.
here's my question.
Please.
Here's my point.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted. On the one hand, I get what you're saying about, here is people that might not already think about the Italian Renaissance and be inspired to go and see some of that architecture or whatever. And I think that getting out there and seeing it for real has probably blown their minds and had a really positive effect, right? So I like that aspect of it a lot. And I guess there's nothing wrong with exploring places virtually.
Have you been
But there's something that just smells wrong about it to me.
Have you been to Istanbul?
No.
Never before?
No.
But you're familiar
I
with
actually just spoke with someone because we just did an interview with someone
Yeah.
from Istanbul, yeah.
But you're familiar with the Hippodrome? Wouldn't you love to see what it looked like in its heyday? In virtual reality.
No.
All right.
No, you know what? I've thought about this. I can't argue against it, Jason.
Well,
but
that's
it
what I would say.
smells bad.
It's weird, but I would just say that it's interesting that it's inspirational more than it is a replacement to the people that like this stuff. It never replaces the experience
All
of
right.
actually going there.
So let me ask you this then. My lasting impression of a lot of video games is me lost in some freaking fantasy world, not knowing what to do or where to go, and just wandering around, and it's a total nightmare.
And you've stumbled upon my second boomer of the conversation. So this is interesting. There was a study that I was reading just the other day, and the game in particular that they were citing was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That's the game I get lost in.
Really? What a coincidence.
Yeah.
But that one, so that is an entirely fantasy world. But the study was particularly linking to kids that have not spent a lot of time in nature because they weren't either exposed to it or it's just not something their family does, and how this entirely fake fantasy environment, this inspired more than say just like a random PSA that you see on the television that's like, kids need to go outside.
Yeah.
This made kids say to their parents, why don't you take me to the woods? I want to go walk around.
You know what? That is great. I guess if I was to summarize how I'm thinking, and this is if it's remembered that this is a recreation of outdoors, or if it inspires people to go outdoors, that's great. If we get to a place in our society where that's seen as a substitute for going outdoors, then that's dark as shit.
I think that's what I agree,
Yeah.
and I think that's where that's the positive side of the outcome of these studies is it's showing that it's inspiring people to go to places they wouldn't normally go to and pushing people outside of their houses.
All right, I love that. Good chat. So let's listen to our second clip now. This is from the Hidden Trails of Oregon Season 2. The episode is called Letterbuck. It's about the Pendleton Roundup, and this is the Extreme Bulls.
Who here is ready to meet the greatest bull riders of professional rodeo?
We're in the open-air grandstands, hundreds of feet above an oval of dirt flanked by the facades of an old west town. Across a sea of horse trailers and campers, I could just make out the massive Roundup Stadium, easily 5 times bigger than this one. We'll see events over there soon enough, but now explosions draw me back to the drama below.
Look what they're writing something on the ground.
on, bull riders are brought out like pro wrestlers. Fireworks burst, and I swear I can feel the heat. Lasers strobe the risers, and hard rock shakes my seat between every rider's intro. The rules of bull riding are simple. Seat a cowboy on the back of a furious 1-ton bull and hang on one-handed for an eternal 8 seconds.
Carlton Oregon, are you ready?
So that wild clip is from our trip into Pendleton. It's just a preview.
Oh my gosh.
And you're going to notice something that happens on this setup as well when we get really excited is there's just a lot of distortion across that episode because we're just screaming the whole time. So we struggled with the audio in there, but it's just, there's explosions. As you heard, it's insane.
I never thought that Extreme Bulls would be like that much of a show. It was like WWF wrestling, wasn't it?
They were like gladiators.
But it was real.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought rodeo clowns would be like a comedic role, but they're there to like pull the bulls away when they fall off so they don't crush them to death.
The fact that no one died, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like no one broke a bone, but the fact, if someone had died doing that, that's how insane it is. These are the Extreme Bulls, by the way.
Yeah.
And this kind of kicked off our whole weekend at Pendleton, and it just got a bit madder and crazier from there, didn't it?
There's so much more to come. We're so excited to share that episode with you guys. We just finished that one. It is, we got to leave it there because there's so much more to get into with that one.
Yeah, and that's actually just kind of a teaser for a whole series that we're doing. So for the next 3 months, we're going to put out an episode. We've went to Eastern Oregon. This is kind of following up from our Hidden Trails of Oregon series 1. This time we went to Eastern Oregon.
Which is much more hidden.
Way more hidden.
Portland and Crater Lake and all that. Yeah.
I mean, spoiler alert, it's in the east. But it's like not a lot of people go there, which is actually one of the reasons why we wanted to go there.
Exactly.
And the Pendleton Roundup was the sort of hook for that because it is one of the world's most famous roundups. So anyway, that whole series is coming out and we're really excited for that. There's the episode about the rodeo, but there's also some other really cool stuff.
Yeah, there's some deep stories to be told in that region that go beyond just the craziness and zaniness of Pendleton itself. So we're excited that hopefully we get to spend more time in Eastern Oregon.
Absolutely loved it. Another thing that's coming up in the last pathway is how this episode about Felipe Massetti rode his horse all the way from Canada to Brazil. This incredible story. But at that point, we hadn't even really, I'd interviewed Felipe, I'd done a bit of the script, but we hadn't even finished it.
Oh, it's done now, yeah.
Now we'd finished it. It's just come out.
Yep.
Came out today. And I've got to say... Air horns, Charles! And I've got to say, it's one of my favorite episodes. Really proud of that one.
Yeah.
And Felipe is a really genuine, cool guy. And the story wraps around in a really interesting way.
I laughed. I cried. The dude's such a good storyteller, too. It's scary and it's insane. Yeah. And there's no, it's almost like a Hollywood story. You wouldn't believe it.
He made a documentary about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone like... Yeah,
it's going to be like Viggo Mortensen playing him in 10 years or something.
I would cast...
Who would you cast?
Ken. Who played Ken in Barbie?
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Really? Ryan Gosling. I don't think he's got the grit to do what happens in this story.
Me? Ryan Gosling looks good in everything, Jason.
You guys need to check this episode out, honestly. And picture whoever you choose. Harrison Ford, Ryan Gosling, Viggo Mortensen, whoever it is. Yeah, we've got our different ideas of protagonists for this one. But go and listen, people. This is an insane episode.
Really, we don't normally preview stuff, but I don't want people to miss this one. So that's great. And just another quick shout out. So Rob Pope is like an ultra runner, and he ran across America, but he actually recreated the run that Forrest Gump did.
The coast to coast to coast to coast to coast.
Exactly, where Forrest Gump just took off and just kept running. And the title of the book is Becoming Forrest, 15,600 miles, 422 days, and 2 boxes of chocolate. And he's just a hilarious guy. He's a Scouser. He's so funny. I laughed out loud. He listened to music the whole time. And here's the other cool thing, that every story he had like an accompanying song to it. So you know what I think we should do? I'm going to reach out to him. I reckon we should put together like a Spotify playlist.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That would be so great.
Perfect for experiencing a little flavor of that, and the exact opposite of what we can do in a podcast, because it's the ultimate music licensing nightmare.
It's so great. And Rob, by the way, is the host of the Red Bull podcast, How to Be Superhuman. We put out one of their episodes last month, so do check that out. Amazing guy. It was really, really just one of those people I just like kind of immediately we settled down to just laughing and taking the piss out of each other. It was fantastic. All right. So speaking of Felipe is obviously an equestrian, and he's a long rider.
Yeah, this was a request from me because it's something that came up in our last Pathways, I think, and you've been talking about it recently on some of these equestrian episodes. Is Aaron just had this amazing moment in the Saudi Arabian desert where one of his several horse near death moments, this one that I was lucky enough to actually be a witness to and to record in high def surround sound.
Oh, man.
So I don't know how I could set it up better than just please enjoy.
Enjoy.
Oh, this is so funny. We're just like banging feet the whole time. I'm completely out of control. Oh, I need to get my feet in the stirrups here. There we go. Oh, I'm running now. Try not to scream. Woo! Oh my God. This is amazing. That is amazing. All right. Quite enough horsey adventure for one day for this travel writer right here. Well, thanks to my friend here, I'm still alive. I've been on horses before, but not an Arabian horse. So thank you, my friend. You saved my life. Shukran.
I love you.
This has been a lot of fun, as always. I hope you guys enjoy this month's episodes. Please do reach out, hang out at Armchair Explorer Podcast. Always love to hang out and chat travel and adventure and all those good things. If you have any stories you want to share or anything at all, just reach out. Love to hang out.
What are we singing this week, by the way? Or what am I coughing my way through?
It's gotta be Whitney Houston.
I don't know any Whitney
It's gotta be Whitney Houston. And so I can't do the high register at all. And, so Whitney Houston. And I will always love you. That sounds pretty good. Yeah. So do that, but Armchair Productions credits. Armchair Productions is Jason Paton and Aaron Millar. It's edited by Charles Tyree. You find out more at Armchair Productions. I can't keep this false settle going anymore. Thank you so much. Have a great week. See you when I'm more healthy. Jason, you're amazing.
Thanks. See you next month.
And you know what? You're wasted as a baritone, by the way.
Quick question. Do you want travel tips from people who have actually been there?
Our show is co-hosted by Tim Johnson, an award-winning travel journalist who's been to more than 145 countries around the world. And I'm David Brody, the other co-host who's been travel podcasting for 20 years while traveling to 50-plus countries around the world.
In about 10 or 20 minutes per show, we break down a destination with the kind of insight you usually only get from long guidebooks or hours of research.
So if you want expert advice, zero fluff, and travel inspiration that you can actually use, search for Travel in 10 wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can also find us at boyescape.com.
Hi, I'm Pauline Fromer, host of the Fromer's Travel Podcast. We post new episodes weekly, detailing the kinds of money-saving tips and cultural insights that will make your trips richer without making you significantly poorer. We do so by interviewing real travel experts like TV host Samantha Brown, Fromer's authors from around the globe, and such public figures as Free Solo's Alex Honnold. It's a fun travel party. I hope you can join us.